That's great. Okay. So, good morning, everyone. We are going to start learning outcome number 3. Be able to evaluate various tools and approaches to a strategy implementation plan. So, in this session, we will be covering in the organization and then proposing a suitable structure, stakeholders. We will talk about the stakeholders. We will be talking about developing an agreed strategy plan that addresses all resources implication due to new action plan. Okay, so we'll be covering these learning outcome. Okay, so we will start from the vision. Anyone can tell me what is a vision?
What is what?
What is a vision? Vision statement, vision of any organization.
Vision, it's sort out of goals. The organizations, they are put it in order to identify the future.
Identify your future.
The future.
Okay, fine.
Put on plans.
Okay, that's good. So yes, we can say it's somehow it is the right definition. Okay. So when we talk about the vision, it means it describes what your company want to achieve in the long run. So it talk about the future things. It dictate or it explain what your company want to achieve in the future. It explain the long-term goals of the company, and time span is depend on the industry type and the context of your organization. So there is not a hard and fast rule for the time context in which you are working and the situation of your company. If I will explain in a little bit detail, so vision statement normally describe the future goals of an organization, and it paints a picture of what the organization want to achieve, or what kind of the impact it hopes to have in the long run. Okay, what kind of impact it is having in the long run. So the purpose of the vision statement is it want to mostly vision statements are mostly inspiring statements. So it try to inspire and motivate the employees who are going to work in your organization, stakeholders which are associated with your organization, and your customer, which are your stakeholders also. Uh, Vision statement mostly helps you to make decisions and setting priority because it gives you the clear and long-term direction for the whole organization in which direction we are going. So according to that direction, you are going to make the decisions and you are going to set the priority. Okay. If we talk about vision statement, it is normally future focused, it is inspirational, it is ambitious, and it is not mostly measurable like goals. We can't measure it. It is just kind of the statement which helps you to like inspire the people and tells you what you want to do in future. Okay. So if we can take the Tesla's example, they want to create the most compelling car company of the 21st century by driving the world's transition to electric vehicle. Before explaining and breaking down this one, if I go there again, so creating a vision statement, when you talk about the vision statement, it tells about what are our hopes and dreams for the company. I mean, what is your inspiration? What problems are we solving for the greater good? And who and what we are inspiring to change. Go to the they want to create the most 21st century. They inspiration. Okay, the good reason is they are coming in the electric vehicle. They want to reduce the pollution thing. Okay, for who they want to do, the people who are interested in the electric cars. So if you can see, such kind of the questions help you to make or design a good vision statement. Okay, so there are some kind of other vision statement examples I put in the notes also for your better understanding. Okay, it breaks it down so you can better understand. Okay. So what is a mission statement? It is basically a summary of aims and values of the company or an organization. So in mission statement, we address three type of the question: who, what, and why our business is for. Okay. And when we talk about the mission statement, it goes on the deeper level and bit precise level. It is a short statement, and it tells why our organization exists, what is overall goal of the organization. It identifies the goal of its operations and what kind of the product and services we are going to provide, who will be our customer, in which region our company will be performing and operating. So it goes in a bit detail and explain in bit detail, but it is aligned and based on our vision statement. You need to make sure that every time your goal should be based on your mission statement. Your mission statement should be based on your vision statement. They should be alignment. They should go in the same direction. If you are making changing the direction, then you are not going in the right direction. Okay. So it means your foundation is not right. So that's why vision, mission, and your long-term goals are very, very important and you should be in same line. Okay. So if I talk about vision statement, mission statement, it tells the purpose of the organization, why it exists, what it does, who it serves, and how it does. So the main purpose the mission statement is you want to give clear information about the organization current operation. If we can take the Tesla's test, okay, I will go back and then explain. It talks about the current operation activity, what organization is going to do, and your vision statement tells or dictate on daily basis decision what you are making. Yeah, they guide those things. And so they also communicate where their organization stands. So they communicate to their customer, their employees and partner what the organization stands for, what is the purpose of the organization. So we talk about it is mainly present focus. Your vision is talking about the future. Mission statement is focusing on the present. They're taking the practical actions, okay, to reach to that goal. It tells what your product and service uses you are going to introduce in the market, who is your target customer, what is the value of your company. Your mission statement is more specific than vision statement. Let's go to the example of mission statement. Again, we are going to take the Tesla's mission statement to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. So they are more specific here. In mission statement, they wanted to become a number one 21st century in electric car. Now, very specific what they are going to do. They are going to work in the energy sector, sustainable energy sector, and want to transition of the world from the petrol car to sustainable energy car. So they are very specific here. So they are explaining their core purpose and its active role in the energy shift. So they are more specific here. Okay. Then based on this mission statement, we design this long-term strategic goal, which should be smart goals. I will explain what is a smart goal. So there I have already explained these one in previous slide, but for your easiness or things, I have added these slides. These are not added by the management. I added for your reading purposes, so you can make the comparison what mission and mission statement are. Okay. When we are making so basically our starting point to design strategy start from the vision statement, your vision statement, then mission statement. Based on the mission statement, you decide that your long-term goal and planning or strategy formulation starts from here. That is a kickstart point. Then when you are making the strategy, it is not important you are just considering the vision, mission, and long-term goals. I have already explained many times you need to consider many other things, and stakeholders are one of them. Okay, because without stakeholder you can't run your organization. Who are your stakeholder mainly? You can see the main the stakeholder in the picture: your supplier, your society, government, shareholder, your customer, your employees, managers, and owner. Can you run the companies without employees, managers, and owners?
No, I don't think so.
No, it is impossible. And similarly, we can't run the organization without external stakeholder. We need a raw material to produce make to produce the product, to manufacture product. We have supplier and supplies. We can't work. If we have the products here, but we don't have a customer to buy, we can run our operations. Okay, so we have such kind of the stakeholder there. So we need to consider what kind of the stakeholders are involved in our business with our business activities. Okay. And what are their influence on our business? When we talk about the influence, we understand or we gauge or we measure the influence of our stakeholder in terms of the stakeholders' power and stakeholder interest. To measure this thing, we are going to use Mandelow's matrix. So they have done the four quadrants. Along y-axis, they are explaining the power. Along the x-axis, they are explaining the interest of the stakeholder, and they are putting into the four quadrants. Okay, I will come back to this one. So we are going in terms of the power, because all the stakeholder, they have some kind of the expectations. To listen their expectation, they either they can use their power, either they can use their interest level. So it is very important to manage all these stakeholders in a nice way, and there are different kind of the strategies to use these stakeholders. Okay. First, I'm going to explain what is meant by the power or interest. When we talk about the interest, you need to see how much interested or how much a person or your stakeholder is caring about what organization is doing. And if you guys are working the project, then you can take the example of your project. How much that stakeholder is interested in that project. Okay. Then if they are very interested, are they likely to try to get involved or push their opinion? So you need to see they want to involve or not, they want to push the opinion or not. If your stakeholders are very interested in the project or in the business, so then they ask for the active updates on the daily basis. They have if they are very influential, they can try to change the plans, whatever the plans you have made. And these people who are very interested, they can give the strong opinion. And I will explain in quadrant perspective. But this is the interest side. When we talk about the power side, it means the ability or the degree of influencing or controlling the decision of the organization. Some stakeholders are more powerful as compared to other, just like your owners or your director of the company as compared to the normal employees, they are more influential. So you have a high power, they can approve or block projects, control money or resources, make rules or laws. Okay. So when you talk about these Mendelow's matrix using, so when you are making the corporate strategy, it is very important for you to understand who are your stakeholders, and then you need to understand which stakeholders are power, which stakeholders are more interest. So first of all, you are making the list of all the stakeholders. Then you are keep putting your stakeholders in these four boxes. So if any stakeholders are high power and high interest, it should come here. Have a high power, the low interest, it should come here. High interest, but they have a low interest, a low power, putting here low interest and low power you are putting in this quadrant. Then according to that, you need, because after putting these the people here, then you will be in the position how you are going to manage these stakeholders to avoid any kind of the conflict or problem, or to restrict the progress of the organization of any project. So the first quadrant, where your power is high and trust is high, you need to manage those stakeholder closely. For example, your shareholders or top management or top managers or client or regulator. We can take the example of Apple's board of directors. So on daily basis, frequently you are updating about the progress of your decision or the performance of the company or your project. Okay, and keep seeking their approval and their consensus in this regard. Wherever the power is high but interest is low, you don't need to actively provide the information. Periodically, you can just provide that necessary information which creates a pressure. You don't need to give satisfied them. You don't need to give the information on daily basis. The third quadrant, where power is low, interest is high, you just need to keep informing them periodically in a certain level. For example, employees, if you are bringing any kind of the change in the organization, you need to keep informing employees about them, not on the daily basis, but maybe periodically. So the trust level should be there. Otherwise, they can restrict and they can make implementation of the your plan harder. So minimal effort, general public and minor suppliers, general public, anything's happening in the area. So you need to general public, they can't do anything, but you need to inform them. Sometimes people can protest against something. Maybe you are changing instead in the place of park, you are constructing any building, so they can protest against them. So you just need to explain them. You don't need to closely provide the information, but maybe through the newspaper or circular, you can provide the information what is happening in the society or in the community. So there is explanation. I have already explained this part here. Okay.
I think, yeah, we have the same case in our current project, where, let's
Okay.
say, some of the public, let's say, they are against it, so we have to keep them informed about our progress. So yeah, it's clear
Yeah.
how the
So this,
interest is different between people and how to manage
yeah.
stakeholder based on their power.
Okay, so this is very important. If you beforehand starting the project, you list all the stakeholder who can create the problem or who have interest in the project, and then you're putting in the quadrant, and according to that, you are making the strategy. Then it becomes very easy for you to deal with those issues. Then it will not hinder the performance and progress of your project, as you have given the example. That is very correct. Okay, so this is also helps to prioritize which expectations are more important for the project or company, which expectation you are going to manage first, and which expectation you are manage later on, which expectation are not important to consider. So you can prioritize situations also, and you can resolve the conflicts also. Okay. Situation analysis, it is all about examining the company's market presence. Okay, you do the detailed examination of this one. We have already discussed many times. You are going to do examine internal and external factors. We have discussed loads of models, internal analysis and external analysis. So when you are doing the environmental reading, environmental analysis, the situation analysis, it is the starting point to understand the environment of the organization. When you are understanding the environment of the organization, it provides you the basis for planning process and prioritizing your actions, because you are considering all kind of the threats and opportunities, and you are considering the strength and weaknesses of your organization. You can capitalize on your strength to achieve your opportunities. Okay. So when you are doing the situation analysis, utilizing an external and external analysis and considering these factors, then you can forecast. If you are making any decision, then based on that thing you can forecast what will be happen, if our decision will be better or not, because these factors are giving you the insight of the environment. If it is not good, then you can revise your strategy and you change your strategy to deal with your internal and external factors. Okay, when you are going to do the analysis, they give you better understanding internal and external environment. Then you can assess the risks associated with your decision, and you can find out what kind of the benefit we can avail through the opportunities and while utilizing our strength. Okay, you can conduct the SWOT analysis. For this, we can use this model of SWOT analysis to get the better understanding of these indices for these environment, external and internal environment. Okay, when we do the situational analysis and we are aware of the external environment, you can find out sometime opportunity to make the strategic alliances. I have put some example here for you in the notes. Okay, I can't put on the slides, but I did last night for you guys. So you can do the strategic alliances. Strategic alliances also helps you to get some kind of the benefit. Let's take the example of Coca-Cola. They have done the strategic alliance with the World Wildlife Fund. So these are environmental NGOs. So what happened? They were protecting freshwater resources and they were improving the water efficiency. So both sides were getting some benefit. Community perspective, they are preserving the environment, and from the company perspective, they are getting the positive brand image. Okay, so Coca-Cola can use this element as a marketing stunt also. Oh, we are using market sustainable strategy or element, or we are considering the environmental issues also. So this is making their brand image positive, which is giving them the competitive advantage in the organized in the market. Okay. And then when you are doing the situational analysis, internal analysis, this helps you to identify what kind of the capabilities you have and how you are going to use those capabilities to design and to implement your strategy. And when you are doing the situational analysis, same time it can help you to identify what kind of the weaknesses you have in your strategy. You can review those points and you can improve your strategy. So I have given some example of strategic alliances here, and detail is given in the keynotes or speaker notes. Okay. So there are some kind of analysis. You are going to consider your company. The basic point, the starting point is your vision, your mission, and your strategy. You need to see everything is aligned with each other or not, and then you need to see either your company is performing against the goals you have set. So there are some kind of the key performance indicator to measure your performance. You can measure the performance through sales, to market share, and the customer retention. Sometimes these kind of indicator helps to compare your performance with your competitor and with the market share. If your competitors are in sales are increasing or better than your, it means you are not performing better, your competitors are performing, then you need to review your practices and you can review your competitor practices. You can see what are they doing good. So maybe you can sometime copy their practices. Okay. Similar, find out the what kind of product and services, what kind of the product and services you are offering in the market, and you can see they are doing in the market or not. Okay. And in terms of product and services, you also need to consider the market research also. If you want to launch any new product, so market research is very important. The same thing is Apple is doing. They spend loads of money in research and development side. In that case, you can go to your customer, you can conduct some kind of survey, focus group, and you can take the feedback from your customer about your upcoming products or your existing product, what kind of the things they want to change in their product. You can ask what kind of the feature you want, or you can give the option of one, two, three, which feature you want in your product and services. This way, you can take the feedback from the customer, and whatever the product you are coming, there are very less chances it will not be acceptable by the customer because you have already taken the opinion from the customer. And these kind of the survey and research helps to find out who will be your customer, who is giving you more response. Those people will be your customers, so they will be your right customer also. So you need to focus on your product and services also, what you are offering and how you are going to improve your services. You are not improving, so the what gonna happen? The Nokia case you can remember. Okay, distribution channel. These are also when
Yeah.
sorry.
No, no, it's fine. Carry on.
Okay. So in situation analysis, you need to consider the first two part. I don't think so. They are related to the distribution channel. The last part, sorry, second bullet is related to the distribution channel. So when you are doing the market analysis, So it helps us to figure out target demographic, as we have already explained here. When you are going to do the research, it has to uncover who are your customers. Target demographic means the gender, unemployed, employed people, their earning level, okay, male or female. So these are their demographic, their age. So in the market analysis, tells what are the demographics of your target markets, and they can tell about the demand for your company's product and services. In the survey, they can show their demand. They want your product or not, or which product they are wanting. So you can figure out the demand, if there is a demand for that product or not, through the research thing. Okay, so in competitor analysis, you can compare two same companies, Apple with the Samsung. You can Apple company with pharmaceutical companies. So you can tech tech companies you can compare with the tech companies. So you can do the competitor analysis. What Apple and versus Samsung. You can see what kind of the product they are offering, what kind of feature they are offering, what kind of the technology they are bringing. So you can do the analysis, but in the same industry, in the similar organization. Then you can consider the distribution channel also. In the situational analysis, you can see, you can review how you get your product or to market and compare it to your competitors. You can see what kind of the distribution channel your other companies are using, and what kind of the distribution channel you can use. The best distribution channel. When it comes to the distribution channel, you need to consider the speed. People want quick delivery. Okay. So they prefer that one, speed. So we can take the example of Amazon. So I have put the keynote here. So they have used a high efficient distribution channel online because they were using their own delivery channels, their own vans, so the logistics. So their delivery was quicker if we can as compared to the Walmart. Okay. So you need to consider which kind of the distribution channel is there. It should be efficient and speedy also. Okay. When you are doing the situation analysis, we are considering the external environment. So from external environment, you need to focus on the opportunities. When we say the opportunities, mean such kind of the gaps are in the market. So people haven't served those needs. You have to serve those. Okay, we can take an example of Airbnb. Airbnb, like in expensive city or in some cities, people, price sensitive people whose incomes are low, they were not in a position to afford high expensive hotel. So what they have done, they did the contract with the local resident. They were providing their accommodation, their houses, their flats for short-term basis. So they fill that gap, and they grab that opportunity. I have given the detailed example of Airbnb in the keynotes. You can read that one. Okay. So for the opportunity, to grab the opportunity, you can use the SWOT analysis model, which helps you to figure out the opportunities, to figure out your strength and capabilities. Then you can utilize your strength and your capabilities to grab those opportunities. So in other words, you can capitalize on your strength, and you can avail those opportunities. Current business environment, when we talk about the current business environment, again, it is talking about the internal and external environment. Okay. So internal environment, we have used different kind of the model. We use a SWOT analysis. We do the TOES in the first, I think so, first session. And the Porter's five forces model, yes, we have done in the first session. We have to conduct the SWOT analysis for internal and external, five forces model for external analysis. So you can utilize these two model. I have explained already what these are. We are not going to spend more time on this one. But the pest analysis, it is another model. Okay, I think so. I explained this one also in bit detail. When we talk about the pest analysis, we consider the political factor. You consider the government policies and impact, regulations, economic factors, physical trend, current import and export trade ratios, taxes, effect on your businesses. social factor, how the customer lifestyle and demographics are affecting social factors, technological factor you need to consider, legal factor, environmental factor. So these are the best analysis. You need to read it yourself. These are very self-explanatory and easy to understand. Okay. So here we are, there is another model, 5C model. Okay. When you are going to do the business environment, we talk about the current business environment. It's very important to consider external environment, internal environment. These models we have already discussed. These two model has to analyze internal and external environment. Five forces model has to understand external environment. There is another model, 5Cs model. Okay. These all both company is the both in internal environment. Okay, so in the 5C model, so the first part of first segment tells we need to see the company vision, mission, and what kind of the goal company have. You need to see what is the market position, how you are going to position yourself in the market. You are going to position as a differentiation company, or you are going to position yourself as cost leaders. Supporters generic strategies come here. You need to see your distribution channel opportunity. You need to see the products of your company. You review all these things, if your products are good or not, your distribution channel are efficient or not, what kind of the opportunities you are grabbing. So you need to do the internal analysis of your company. Wherever you are weak, you need to bring the improvement of there through the strategic action or through making changes in your strategy. Okay. Then we are talking about the customers. So in this section, you should have a proper information of your current customer, who your customer are, what are their preferences, what they want, what kind of the product they are looking for, and who is your target market. You can do through the research, surveys, analysis, and how you are going to pursue the market opportunity through your marketing plan by having the information about your customer and about the need of your customer. So you are going to see what kind of the habit they have, what kind of the trends and buying processes customer follow, what kind of the product they are buying, how frequently they are buying. This is mainly very marketing topic, but you should have a proper information about your customer. If not, then you can't be successful in the market, because customer is a very key element of your whole business. You are going to sell your product to them and you are going to generate revenue through your customers. So this is very important part of your analysis. Competitor, you also need to know in which industry you are operating, who are your key competitors, what kind of the key strength of your company having, what kind of the strength and weaknesses of your competitor are having. You should be very competitive weaknesses also. You should be very aware about the opportunities and threats in the market, and you should be very aware of what kind of the threat can be caused through your competitors. So you need to be very vigilant well in advance. Okay. And why well in advance? So you should have a sufficient time to review the strategy, to make the plan, and you organize the resources in time, in terms of power, in terms of physical resources, money, maybe new machinery you need to install to address these threats and to compete with their competitors and to grab the opportunities. And you need to always keep doing the market competitor analysis. You need to see how much market share your competitors are having, how much sales they are making. So you need to keep an eye on your competitors' performance all the time. It's not you just focusing on your company's performance. No, you need to have a close eye on your competitors' performance also. Okay, you need to see what kind of the products they are launching. And again, example of Samsung and Apple, they are keeping an eye on each other's product. What are they bringing in the market? Okay. Then collaborators, there are your supplier, your distributor, your partners. Without your supplier, without your distributor, you can't perform well. So you should have a very good relationship with your supplier, with your distributor, so you can have a smooth operation processes so you can produce your product in time and readily available to your customer. If you are bringing your product late in the market, sometime other people they bring the product before you, then nobody is buying your product because they have already bought those products from other companies and they have become their customer now. So climate, external environment, where we have talked about the Western allergies already. Yes, external environment already. So this is talking about the environment. You need to consider all these elements. I'm talking. Do you guys have any question?
No, all is good for me.
No, no, yeah,
Um,
carry on.
okay, that's good. Okay, business is very important. We need to understand risk also, what kind of the risk it entails when we are making some kind of the choices and we are considering different kind of strategies. So there are three type of the risk in the organization: preventable risk, strategy risk, and external risks. Okay, sorry. When we talk of about the preventable risk, this slide is also added by me for you guys. Okay. So preventable risk mean these are the internal risk and these are preventable. Okay, for example, your employees are making any kind of the fraud, your employees are not following the rule to use machineries, they are not following the rules of safety, they are making some kind of the violation. So you can make some kind of, you can prevent those rules. Strategy risks, you can't control them, but you can bring some or you can make some kind of the strategies to deal with those issues. And these are the internal risks. These both are the internal risks. Okay. When you are entering in the new market, launching new product, there will be some kind of the risk, but well in advance, you need to read the market in detail so you can figure out what kind of the associated risk will be there, and then you can make the planning to deal with those risks. External risks, these are the outside risks, you can't control them: economic crisis, pandemic, political instability. But of course you come up with some kind of the strategy at the time. It's not that you are sitting there, you are doing nothing, but you can do. So there is a one example of risk management. I included that one. Maybe poor hygiene by the driver, delivery products, food delivery guys. So what you can train your staff, you can make some kind of the rules, you can monitor the performance. Strategy risk, you are expanding to a new country. So how you can deal with the risk? You are going to the new country, you don't know the culture and things of the country. So for that thing, you need to do the detailed research about the culture, habits, which industry you are going in that one. So do conduct the detailed research there or related to the local marketing, and you can do the partnership with the local partners in there because they will be having the detailed knowledge about the local market. So then you can deal with the local risks. External risks, fuel prices are increasing. And what you do, you can either adjust the pricing of your product, you will increase your product price, or you can find other way, low cost delivery options. Okay. So you example of management and tabular form, the efficient way, or you can read it in your free time. Okay. So when you are making the vision and mission statement, so yeah, this is a kind of example. You can take any company's vision and mission statement, and then you can go their annual journal report. You can find their strategic goals. So this could be a kind of exercise. But I also have designed a detailed activity for you guys for how you are going to create a vision, mission statement, and then strategic goals. So I will give you that activity by the end of the class as a homework. Okay. So vision mission statement, we have already discussed what kind of the things you will be considering. Now we are talking about the strategic goal. When you are going to talk about the strategic goal, you need to ensure that your goal should be SMART. SMART mean, so SMART is abbreviation of these words. S stand for the specific. Your goal should, the objective is clear about what you are going to do and exactly how are you going to do it. So, for example, your goal is you want to do like you want to increase your business. So how it is specific? It is not specific. So there are many ways to increase your business. You want to increase your market share, you want to increase your customer base, you want to expand in the new markets, or you want to increase sales. You need to be very clear about here how you are going to expand this one. So measurable, it should be in the percentage. We are going to increase our sales by 20%. Achievable, so you need to consider your local condition, time period, and resources allocated. If you are saying we are going to increase our sales, it means you need to increase your production also. So you should be aware of you have enough production capacity, mean in terms of factory, time period wise. You're saying we are going to increase here by 30%. So can you produce that many of unit in that certain time period or not? Local conditions are feasible for that local production or not? You need to consider all these things. Realistic in terms of the time and resources, I have already explained. You need to see if it's realistic to achieve that goal or not. And every time it should be time bound within a 1 month's time, 2 months' time, 6 month time. If any of element is here, your goal is not set and it is not achievable. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Sorry. Okay. Okay. In strategic decision making, it is a very important resource strategy. Also, I have already explained this one yesterday. Okay. But there are the two elements which I want to explain and expand on: heterogeneous and immobile. Okay. So you can read about the tangible asset, intangible asset. Tangible asset is a kind of the asset which one company copy from, and they can copy from other company, like furniture, maybe the new technology, or maybe the new machinery. They can easily acquire and they can be identical soon. So other companies can have the same asset easily. So the intangible asset like your brand reputation, okay, loyalty with customer, okay. So the brand reputation is a kind of the thing, or your trademark, intellectual property. These are intangible asset and brand reputation. So brand reputation is a kind of the thing nobody can copy or nobody can steal from you. See, this is the intangible asset. If we can take the Apple example or Tesla's example, nobody can copy their reputation. Okay, so that's why that is their competitive advantage. Because of their brand name, they're selling their product. They can convert client or their customer in the market easily. And even if they are bringing the new product, so people have a trust in them, their brand and the reputation in the market. So they will be easily inclined to buy their any new product. But if in as compared to other company, their reputation is not good, no matter how good product they are bringing in the market. So people will be reluctant to buy that product. So this is a competitive advantage and any in term of intangible asset, and this is a sustainable assets, a competitive advantage. So similar, hygiene already, it should be a your resources should be different from other companies. Okay, you can't have a same resources. If your resources are same, the kind of the resources a company have, then you can't sustain. You can't have a competitive advantage in the company in the market. Okay, I want to explain one point for here. Okay, when we talk when we talk about heterogeneous resources, sometimes two companies who are working in the same industry, okay, they are same kind of the organization. They are also taking the example of Samsung and Apple phone. So they are when both companies are performing in the same industry, okay, high tech industry. Both companies are high tech industry companies, okay, but Apple is a leader in that industry, and Samsung is a follower. I mean, that is second company in that industry. So why they are not performing on the same level? Why Apple is performing better than the Samsung? Because their resources are better than the Samsung resources. Okay, that's why they are performing better than Samsung. They are both. However, despite they are operating in the same industry, both industries are tech industry. They are facing the same external environment, same kind of the threats, same kind of the hurdles in the external from the external environment. But the reason is this: Samsung doesn't follow the same strategy because Samsung doesn't have the same brand reputation, or it is not capable to design user-friendly product like Apple does. So Apple has a competitive advantage in designing Apple phone and in terms of brand reputation. So they can't steal their these kind of the resources. They are heterogeneous. They are different than Samsung. That's why they are taking or enjoying the competitive advantage more in the market. In mobile, mean it is also you can't transfer from one company to another company. If we can take the example of the physical resources like machinery, like buildings, so you can copy those kind of the resources easily. But when we talk about intangible asset, again, it is not easily copy or it is not easy to bring in your company. So these heterogeneity and immobile resources are very important to gain the strategic advantage or the competitive advantage in the market. This is the process I have already explained you guys. So if you can see through this picture or this diagram, we can explain it. You need to, okay, sorry, the third requirement is it should be video. So here is video. Resources are valuable. I mean, are helping in to attain the competitive advantage or no? If not, so if your resources are valuable, no, then you can't gain the competitive advantage. If yes, then it's fine. If it is rare, then you can gain the competitive advantage. If it is not, then you can get the competitive advantage. Costly to imitate or difficult to imitate. So if it is costly to imitate, no, then maybe you can, for the temporary, you can get the competitive advantage. If it is costly to imitate or difficult to imitate, yes, then it is not easily imitable. And if you have all these resources, but sometimes organizations don't have a skill to utilize these resources and to capture the value, to produce the product or services and to gain the profit or to cut down the cost. If they don't have such kind of capability or organization, then they can't get the competitive advantage. But if they are utilizing in a very efficient way and they are gaining the competitive advantage in terms of the cost, in terms of the differentiation, then they are gaining the competitive advantage. So I have already explained these one there, I mean yesterday, but you can read it yourself here. Okay. When you are going to do the, you are going to review or considering the choices and designing the strategy, organization strategy, and want to implement the organization strategy. This is also important. You are considering the industrial organization model also, or analysis of the industrial organization also, along with the resource-based view. This was a resource-based view. Okay. So what you can do in this regard? Okay. Mm. So you need to see from industry perspective, you need to consider competitive advantage, positioning in industry, how your company is positioned in the industry. It is gaining the competitive advantage. You need to see through the positioning. Are you are going to position your company as a market leader in terms of differentiation, providing the different products, or through the as a cost leadership, you are providing the less prices to the customer. Okay, when we see the resource-based view, so you are gaining the competitive advantage through possessing unique organization assets or resources or capabilities. If you have these things, that mean you can gain the competitive advantage in the market. Okay. Determinants of profitability. How you're going to find out that from industry perspective, your firm is making the profit. So you need to see the characteristics of industry. Okay, you need to check how difficult the competition is in the industry. So Porter's five forces model you need to consider. Okay, external competitors, buyers, buying power, suppliers, buying power. Substitute that model. You can use that model. They can tells about the industry how good that industry is. If the competition is tough, it's not good to enter there. If the competition is low, then you can go there because less competitors are there. Then you can make the high profit there. So you can see your firm's position in within the industry. I have already explained what is a positioning thing in the previous point. So the types, amount, and nature of firm's resources. So resource-based view. Are your resources rare, copied, heterogeneous, imitable or not? You need to see. If not, then you can make the profit by utilizing those resources. Focus analysis, how you can read the industry organization conditions. Through external analysis, five forces model you can use there. Internal analysis, you can do SWOT analysis, and there are some other kind of the internal analysis, value chain analysis. So resource-based view, you can use these kind of the analysis. Major concern, you are going to compete in the market. So you can to see how you are going to compete in the market with your organization. So major concern is competencies, but by utilizing your resources. Over here, you are going to do competition in the market through the positioning of your company. Your position as a differentiation leader or cost leader. Strategic choices, choose attractive industry, appropriate position. So what is the right choice? You need to see five forces model. You are going to conduct the five forces model analysis. You need to see if industry is attractive or not. Which industry is attractive for you? If there is a less competition, okay, less people can come in the market. So barrier to entry is very tough. You can go back and read that one. So you need to see if the competition is low, then industry is attractive for you, and you need to see if your positioning of your organization is appropriate. Then that is your right strategic choice. Okay. Porter's generic strategy. You have to choose the right strategy for your organization. Then that is your strategic choice. You are choosing the right choice for your strategy. Developing unique resources and capability. You are developing unique resources and capability in your organization, but at the same time, you are utilizing your resources effectively also. This is also important. Retaining of resources is not of use if you are not using them in an efficient way. Okay. So I have given the another example of these one in tabular form for your better understanding so you can read it. I'll share my slides with you. Anyways. So here you have studied all the model. So you will be creating your own resource-based model. How you are going to do that one? So resource you put two forms, your people, skills, expertise, you are gaining their capabilities. your internal resources, how you are going to utilize your resources in a better way. Your organization is using those resources in efficient way. So this is a skill of your organization, or a skill of manager utilizing those resources in efficient way. So competitive advantage, now this is your firm's ability, how they are performing in the market, utilizing their internal resources, they're utilizing their capabilities, how they are gaining the competitive advantage there. Okay. So maybe through cutting down the cost, maybe providing the high quality product, maybe speed of the product, okay, maybe their supply chain processes, how you are going to gain the competitive advantage. Then an attractive industry, then you have to choose attractive industry where you can find opportunities and you can exploit opportunities in external environment, and utilizing the organization resources and capabilities. So to use these opportunities, you are utilizing the resources of your company, your capabilities of your company, and you are working in attractive industry, and you're positioning yourself in the industry in a better way. Then these are the decision. Then after considering these things, you are making your plan pay on the paper. Then you are going to execute your strategy in action. Okay. So this is the whole process. Now you can understand how important for you is a resource-based model, or having a right resources and utilizing in efficient way. So this is all done. The references of these slides and book and resources are available on um, on um, on Moodle. So we have covered all these points in today's session. We gone through his vision, mission, and strategic goal thing, proposing a suitable structure, agree strategy plan. So we have developed, we have learned different kind of techniques, how you are going to implement these plans. Okay, how you are utilizing different models and conducting analysis, and based on the analysis, or based on those provided information and having a clear picture, how you are going to formulate the strategies, you are going to implement strategy. Any question, dears?
No, I'm fine. All is good.
Okay, that's great.
That was very clear. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to stop sharing the videos. I'm going to stop recording.